Alright, so I'm going to be installing a couple of Bilstein shocks to the back of my truck today, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. Installing shocks is easy enough, especially if you're just doing the rear. I'm starting off with the rear, just doing a little bit at a time. These are pretty expensive shocks, and the fronts are still in good condition, but I think basically I blew out my stock shocks running the truck camper in the back of the truck, so they're not really doing anything, especially when I'm not loaded anymore. You can really tell it's pretty bouncy in the back, and you can tell the shocks aren't really working. So decided to upgrade, and I wanted to get the best ones possible for the money. So after a lot of research, I settled on these. Now, a lot of people say the Billstein 5100s are really good, and these are the 4600s, and a lot of people end up going with them, you know, but they don't really even understand what they're doing. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that for just a second. The 5100 shocks are for if you have a lifted truck, period. Will they work on a non-lifted truck? Sure, they will, especially if you get the ones like 0 to 2 inch lift, but that's not what they're intended for. Internally, the 4600s and the 5100s are the same. They just have more room for expansion when you, in this case, you have a lift, or I should say if you have a lift. In my case, I don't have a lift. This is a stock ride height truck. I don't plan to ever have a lift on here. So why would I get those other shocks? I mean, they're close enough in price, it doesn't really matter. This is what Bilstein recommends for my truck. Like I said, internally, they are the same thing. So just get a little bit of a different exterior color. So if you hear people saying otherwise, they're not really being truthful. And these are just a couple dollars cheaper, but it's not enough to make a difference. You know, if the 5100s were a better shock, I would have went with them. So I'm going to go ahead and just install these in the rear, and I'm going to take it for a drive and tell you what I think to see if it really did make a difference or not. All right, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about how to change shocks. It's really easy. Get on your truck here. You'll need a 18 millimeter to take off this side of the bolt, and up top there's an 18 millimeter up there, and then it's a 15 millimeter on this side here, at least on my 2011. Pop the factory ones off. You don't want to worry, there's like not going to be any pressure, and slide them out. We'll put the new ones in. The new ones are like gas charged. They have a strap on them, but you will have to cut that strap, and it'll take some force, but you'll be able to push it up into place where you need to be. Remember, there's my timbering springs. I installed another video up there. They've been working good. No issues at all. So we'll get these shocks switched out. Same thing on the other side. Shock just points the other direction. So take your time, put a little bit of PB blaster on there, especially if they're the original shocks. These aren't. And it'll be easy. I'll be back. So the shocks are installed. The only thing I'll recommend with these, the Bilsteins do have a lot of pressure in them, so I actually left the straps on them. If you take the straps off before you install them, you have to be very strong to compress them. So I found it easiest just to get the shock installed on the top mount, and then jack up the back of the truck till it's in the position to line up the bottom mount, slide the bolt in, and then tighten everything down. Now I'm going to take it for a drive and see if I notice a difference. Alright, so I'm on a little back gravel road here, and I already do feel quite a bit of difference. The shocks are firmer, so you definitely feel every little bump, but it is managing them much better than before. And after I took them off, I did find that one looked like it was still in okay shape, but one of them was completely blown, and it wasn't retracting, or contracting, however you want to put it, after you compress it. So that was probably causing a lot of my issues. Basically, if I was going down like a country road, a paved road, chip and seal, and hit a big bump, it felt like the back end wanted to jump out of place. So hopefully that solves that issue. We'll see how it is on paved roads up here with a little bit of bumps. So this might be a slightly unfair comparison because one of my shocks was damaged, so this isn't a really good comparison to a stock set of shocks, but huge difference obviously. And The one thing I noticed, if I can try to put it into words, give some kind of quantitative difference in the way it feels, is before, when you're going down the road, you'd hit just a button. If the road was just slightly bumpy or slightly uneven, you just feel it, and there's a lot of bounce in the truck. It just felt like almost out of control. You'd hit a bump and feel like the back end wanted to kind of jump around on you. Now it feels just firmly planted to the road, is the best way to describe it. So, and that's just with the rear shocks. So I'm excited to get the front shocks done as well. But I just wanted to do a little quick review of these Bilstein 4600 shocks on the Super Duty. I know a lot of us are contemplating getting them. They do seem to be worth it. So I'll leave some links below where you can buy these same shocks for your truck. I'll put a link for the whole set and then a link for the individual ones. You can decide if you want to do them all at once or not. In my case, the rear definitely had a problem, which is why I chose just to do it for now. But shortly I'll be doing the fronts as well. Leave a comment if you have any questions. Be sure to subscribe for more videos about your F250, F350 Super Duties, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.